Hey everyone, this is Siddharth Mishra. I am your rustic mystic, and I've come back here with another Just for Today from Narcotics Anonymous as well as Alcoholic Anonymous. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe this version of Just for Today so that others can also benefit from it. Today's thought was for October 7th, and it says that depending on our higher power. Now, as recovering addicts, we find that we are still dependent, but our dependence has shifted from the things around us to a loving God and the inner strength we get in our relationship with Him. Well, it sounds about right, sounds about logical for every addict. Let's see what happens later. This is from the basic text, page 71. All right. For many addicts, rebelliousness is second nature. We didn't want to depend on anyone or anything, and especially not on God. The beauty of using, we thought, was that it gave us the power to be and feel anything we wanted all by ourselves. But the price we paid for this illusory freedom was a dependence beyond our worst nightmares. Rather than freeing us, using enslaved us. When we came to Narcotics Anonymous, we learned that dependence on God didn't have to mean that we may have thought it meant. Yes, if we wanted to be restored to sanity, we would need to tap a power greater than ourselves. However, we could choose our own concept of this higher power. We could even make one up. Dependence on higher power would not limit us. We discovered and it would free us. Let me just read that out completely for you so that I can then get into what it means. The power we find in recovery is the power we lacked on our own. It is the love we were afraid to depend on others for. It is the sense of personal direction we never had, the guidance we couldn't humble ourselves to ask for or trust others to give. It is all these things and it's our own. Today we are grateful to have a higher power to depend on. See, being an addict, we always thought our egos are always soaring high, and we think that we don't need to depend on anyone, especially not God. Who's God? He's my friend. Usually, many of us think like that. Yes, he's your friend, he's your well wisher, he's whatever you like him to be. But then, when we look at this closely, we know that this power that we think that we have over everything is with a cost of dependence on a substance, dependence on addiction, which is very difficult to come out from. When we come to Narcotics Anonymous, we learn that, okay, dependence on higher power does not mean that it limits us, does not put us into various activities that we don't want to do. We can make our own higher power. In my case, I will let you know that my mother, is my higher power. God is there. God is definitely there, but my mother is my higher power. She's my God also. Because when I talk to her, I get immense power. No matter where she is, I need to talk to her to make myself feel comfortable. For another person, I was the higher power. He said that because your sobriety is bigger than mine, or longer than mine, not bigger. Sobriety is not bigger for anyone. But since your sobriety is longer than mine and you have guided me, you are my higher power. Because we always remember that God comes to us in several ways, shape, and forms and gives us guidance in the most unexpected way. So we don't need to limit ourselves just because we love or depend on God. It is freeing, it is exhilarating, it is loving, and it gives us the freedom from this dependence on addiction. Just for today, I will depend on the love and inner strength I draw from the God of my own understanding. Remember this last three words, I love them. It is God of my own understanding. I make up the God. I pray to Him the way I want. I talk to Him the way I want. I believe in Him the way I want to believe. I am not dependent on anybody to tell me how to do those things. All I'm required to do is follow certain rules. That is the 12 steps. That's all. Apart from that, my understanding with God is completely independent of these 12 steps. My spirituality, every addict has its own spirituality. It's not dependent on it. But collectively, it grows when you go to meetings, when you talk to others, it grows. But it is independent from each other. So remember, the God that you are depending on is of your own understanding, of your own making, and He's the one who's going to be there with you through thick and thin. You are not dependent on Him. He is the one who's empowering you. That's all for today, and amen to just for today. Please keep coming back. It works if you work it.